Now, do you remember when we were doing the 18th century novel, Rise of the Novel? Do you remember 18th century? Rise of the Novel? Fine. So when we were doing the Rise of the Novel, what did we talk about in the novel? What is the first thing that is required in order to write a novel? What is the first thing that is required?
Story.
Yes, imagination. Very good. Yes. Imagination. So, unless until you have an imagination, how are you going to concoct or bring a story together? Right? So, novel is something which deals with the imaginative. So, why do you think I am talking about the novel? Because sometimes fiction and novel are read along the same lines. People use fiction and novel synonymously. That means if someone is talking about novel, your mind automatically goes towards fiction. So, does that mean that there is no difference between a novel and a fiction? Yes, there is. Now, what is the difference? First of all, what is the first element that a fiction uses? Imagination. Unless until you have imagination, unless until you create events, create characters, create plot, stories, you are not fulfilling the term that is fiction. Okay. Now, what is the difference between a novel and a fiction? Now remember that there are two things in a literary term, genre and subgenre. What is a genre? Genre is basically something which is a bigger part of something. Novel, fiction becomes a bigger part. And inside this fiction, we have the subgenres, right? What are the various types of fiction that you can see? I have done let's say the types of the novel. So we have under fiction, we have novels, we have novellas, we have short stories, and we have prose satire, right? You remember this prose satire, Jonathan Swift's The River's Travels? We have short story, you haven't done any. Novellas are anything less than 100 pages. Small mini novels. Then you have novels which has plot, character, theme, so on and so forth. So now, what does a novel have basically? Sorry, what does a fiction have? You have events, you have characters, you have themes in it. But all these things should be what? It should be imagined, right? Unless until you have imagination, you cannot have fiction. Fiction means anything which is imagined. Okay? Understood? Now, we said that everything in a fiction is imagined. So does it mean that there is no realism in it? Because I said that, and you all said that everything is imagined. But does that mean that there is no realism in it?